Mama akwa ba emra Khemical TV so eye KM Express show ena busia ye de ebromedin de nanadwa benowa eye Black Rasta ababe kasa de afa ye Christian la love ye Obaapa Christy ene ne chese ono ankasa ex husband eye Pastor Love ensem no abusia nansan trend wo social media ne so no be kasa de afa ho na Black Rasta dem a wo se ane wono de obeka de akire Ghana force se ye be kai a eye the late eye Reverend Osebonsu a wanya ne baabi ekọ abusia wose ane eye Pastor Love eni kun no ne nyina ene se one Pastor Love esensan ye contract bi e ma ne ko ba se eye chese Reverend Osebonsu ebefum ye na no nam so ama Pastor Love be kan chese wudi sem edigu papa ne so ema even ko papa ne ibewu no ni nchida mu nyina no de ba abonten be pa Pastor Love achew esen konfa ne bone nche no na nso esan se Pastor Love tirimu odene na ono de wudi sem ene woni tirimu ntirimu enfi papa no ena chese wodi ku papa no na sansam no wa ena fi wode aba abonten a wa aba be kan ede agu chese Obaapa Christy eso no no so no opeso ku Obaapa Christy ede no efri ho no mo na Black Rasta dem wo so ono de okan de Pastor Love se sa ne ma na anase nsem a wokeka ede akire Ghana fo ese ane na yiri adwamanfo Obaapa Christy yese no se he ne nyina ye nkwala ne ma entinke be yanko njai.
My brother, my sister, from the newsreel, we endeavor to always keep it real. We are the hardest hitting, yes, the most decorous and the most temperate. My brother, my sister, this is the voice of the patriot. My name, Black Rasta. Now, my brother, my sister, today we're going to look at things quite differently. The very first story I want to look at is this one here, which I'm reading from Ghana Web. And it says, I spoke out of anger, forgive me. And this is Pastor Love apologizing to Ghanaians. I read, upon thorough reflection, Pastor Love has issued an apology to those who were hurt and disappointed by his recent outburst against his ex-wife Obaapa Christy on social media. He specifically apologized to the pastors he accused of being involved with his ex-wife and to Ghanaians as a whole. Pastor Love stated that his comments stemmed from anger and stress that as human, he is prone to making mistakes. In an interview on Peace FM, he stated, everything I said about Obaapa Christy was driven by anger. I am only human, and I ask for forgiveness from Ghanaians and all the pastors I named, including Chiriabosum and Adonting Boateng, who resides in the United States of America. I was under pressure and said things I shouldn't have. I hope they can find it in their hearts to forgive me. Earlier in his runs, Pastor Love accused certain pastors of having a secret affair with his ex-wife, Obaapa Christy. In a bid to respond to Obaapa Christy's assertion that he had no involvement in writing hit songs, he took to social media, unleashing a series of accusations and curses against the gospel singer. His comments, which included vulgar language and heavy insults, shocked and disturbed many netizens, leading to massive criticism for going the extreme. But Obaapa Christy responded. What did she say? In a social media post, Obaapa Christy firmly denied the cases and allegations made against her. She described them as lies and part of a demonic plot aimed at destroying her. My brother, my sister, this is it. This is what a bad marriage can do. Very, very terribly bad marriage. And if you are married to a man whose common sense is so low, these are some of the things you go through. My brother, I have followed this issue for more than 10 years now. I am not just talking because of this. I remember an altercation between Pastor Lover and Captain Smart on Adum FM. In fact, Captain Smart was on radio. They were talking about the separation between Christina Love at the time and Pastor Love. Pastor Love, who was driving at the time, tuned into Adum FM and listened to what was happening. He drove into the studio directly in anger, using abusive words, vulgarity. And I wondered, is this truly a pastor? Then he needs counseling. For 10 years, I have abstained from talking about this, my brother, my sister. But I think it's time to talk about. Pastor Love is behaving like an infant. My brother, you were married to this woman. You teamed up as to what your contribution was in her music career. I wouldn't be able to tell. But at the time, we were told that you were the author of the songs. I remember there was even an incident with another gospel artist who finally died. Before this gospel artist died, in fact, he was crying and begging Pastor Love to forgive him because Pastor Love had said that he would kill him over some music rights. According to this man, Pastor Love had written a certain song or a couple of songs for him, and they had disagreed on the split. In other words, how much should go to you and how much should come to me. And Pastor Love cursed him and told him that he would die. The man got sick. I think it was Reverend Osei Bonsu or Usu Bonsu, one of the Bonsus. He was an accordion player. Osei Bonsu. Michael Osei Bonsu, that's his name. I remember how this man was begging. We heard his voice live on Peace FM, crying and begging. Pastor Love, Mr. Mama min wuwate, Mr. me paucho, Maya Bonifa Cheme. He ended up dying. Pastor Love denied all the cases that allegedly he leveled on this man. Michael Osei Bonsu died. This is a matter of history. My brother, I don't normally get involved in issues like this. Michael Osei Bonsu died, and his last words, he begged Pastor Love that he threatened that he would kill him because of music that he wrote for him. My brother, those of you who followed that thing can attest to this, right? Now, years down the line, there was a separation between Christina Love, now called Obaapa Christy, and the man here called Pastor Love. Oh my God, waiting be vulgarity. A man so unashamedly will go on the media and talk about how his wife was sleeping with who, and who. It reminded me of another man whose wife was a gospel artist. This name I want to keep under wraps, right? Later he ended up at a psychiatric hospital and passed on. He was also alleging that his wife was sleeping with a high life artist who is presently in Ghana, whose name I will also keep under wraps. This man, a Nigerian, ended up dead after everything. Why is this most of the time like this? When gospel artists, females, break away from their husbands become so vitriolic. They go out and talk. In the case of Gifty Osei, it was rather the woman who was talking. The man wasn't talking. You are those singing words of encouragement to people. You are those who are leading people to God. You are human. You can divorce. But when you divorce, keep it decent. Pastor Love has sworn that he will never let his ex-wife rest. Vulgarity here, vulgarity there, vulgar talk every now and then. When you listen to the tape, it's so nauseous. This is a woman that you had children with, right? This is the woman you go to the media destroying. When your children grow up and disrespect you, you say you don't understand. What's wrong with you? And this is a pastor. What kind of church do you pastor? Church of vulgarity? Or church of divorce? Or church of bitterness? Or church of anger? This is not the first time Pastor Love is using vulgarity on his ex-wife. The woman said that you didn't write any of her songs because you are illiterate or something like that. You got angry, my brother, and used abusive words, curses, because you cursed a man who died some years back. So you are taking advantage of this to curse your own ex-wife. You are so cheap, this man. What is this? You're supposed to be called a pastor. How many people are you pastoring? How many churches are you pastoring? It's one allegation to the other. Shut your mouth. It's okay. Some men have no respect for themselves at all. You have children with this woman. Let's even say she's a harlot. My brother, we have seen men who have been able to deal with harlots and bring them back and make them better people. Not this man. It's so sad. Those of you who are interested in that, you can check out Pastor Love and Captain Smart on YouTube. It's so sad how he behaved. Please, you need counseling. Your character is rotten and stinking. It's a shame. And if people continue going to your church, there must be something else that takes them there. Because your character is stinking. I'm not a fan of Christina Love. No. Of course, I like her performances on stage, but I'm not a fan of Christina Love. You know why? There was a time she made a comment, and I will never forget that comment. It was Ghana Music Awards. I remember. Prior, you remember prior? They dressed like Arabs. You understand? They dressed like Arabs. Oh, they looked good and nice. You know, to change the whole thing. It's entertainment. And when they came in there and sat down, that was when they did Angelina Khemical that year. When Christina Love had the opportunity to speak, she looked at them and jokingly, she said, "Hey, now why am I terrorist na more muye Al-Qaeda for and so anybody who dresses like an Arab is a terrorist, right? Well, I can forgive her for that. You know, when you don't have so much education, you might end up having some of these utterances come out of your mouth. It's years back, several years back, but it has remained with me. We have to be careful what we say. We must be truly careful. As for Pastor Love, please change your name. You are Pastor Hate. You are full of bitterness and hatred. They said Jesus Christ is sitting on the right-hand side of God. You are sitting on the right-hand side of Satan. Change. Your character is so nauseating. What is this?
What is answer when United to a journal and Robertia Sima, Yachasakwa, Ebusian 4, secondary school, high school, way, our more ultra, or random ya, on one Cassan classmates, Edis a kind I want which they will say. A young son be say, ya, Elcoso, a Ghana had no saying when yet. Anka Bayanka in paying for, and for 190 form, na action born mom so take na Sanya ma way na echo form was say a sea, our Ghana ha. If it's quite to say, I dear no na hobby, I dear chin, dear Sebiano, or secondary school more, and near my baby see one one Colano ewu. I feel better, any na cray, no yalinity and as malaria channel. I was sent the teachers for not just take action, but no, now quad school no ankasa students no. And they take action was an ema way be home. I am come na kwana femu asanso ahwere ne nkwa. Enti nka be ya teachers no bi wo ho no mo a e wo so mani da ho no mo no mo hu bibi papa bi eye e de fasa ensem we hu na sanya sa de a ene na Ghana e bekoso a ahwede student a eni kwanse sa na ema no esi e wo Ghana ha no mo esi.
This one published by my own 3news.com, one of the most authentic sources of news online. It says, final year student of O'Reilly Senior High School allegedly stabbed to death. I read just a couple of paragraphs and I'll be done. A final year general arts student of O'Reilly Senior High School, Edward Borkete Saki, has been stabbed to death by a colleague. A colleague. My brother, we are talking about a colleague. Now let me leave this and read the report on Ghana Web. It says, O'Reilly Senior High School student stabbed to death over wealthy father argument. What we know so far. And I read, Edward Borkete Saki, an 18-year-old final year student of O'Reilly Senior High School in Accra, was stabbed to death following a dispute with a colleague at the school. What happened? According to reports, Edward, a general arts student, had a physical altercation with one Godwin, a visual arts student, over whose father was wealthier. The argument is said to have escalated into a fight during which Edward was stabbed multiple times. That means he was stabbed with intent. That's how the lawyers call it. If you stab once, it might be a mistake. If you go ahead and stab, it's stabbing with intent. In an attempt to save Edward's life, a group of students quickly left the school to find a taxi to take him to the hospital. However, he passed away shortly after arriving at the Lekma hospital. The stabbing incident reportedly occurred after they had finished writing an exam as part of their West African Senior High School certificate examination, WASI. My brother, it's sad. Now, when you read the story further, it says that students had to carry the victim to the hospital and he passed away soon after arrival at the Lekma hospital. Teachers did not care, according to the story. I wasn't there. And that the victim had reported the incident to a teacher and no action was taken. Even when he was stabbed and bleeding, teachers didn't seem to care. Students had to carry him in a taxi. What was the problem? Two students arguing. Me papa was catching papa. We used to see on papa was catching we. Children's argument. It became violent. The other student called Godwin, according to this story, pulled out a knife and choke multiple times. This guy laid down, bled to death. My brother, how many times will we lose our children in these schools? If this had happened in America, we would have said, well, we've had too many killings in America, in the schools. Students take guns to school and all that. But we don't manufacture guns in Ghana. Knife. He stabbed another student multiple times and he bled to death whilst he looked at him and others stood by. He took students who carried him to the Lekma. O'Reilly, are you serious? Is this true? What happened to the school bus? Remember this thing happened at Kalpohin School a few months back, where a student, sick, vomiting, was told to the senior housemaster that there was a sick student and it was an emergency. He asked the students to go out there and look for a taxi and take the student to the hospital. Senior housemaster. My brother, the school has suspended him. I don't know if he's back. The student ended up sitting in a yellow. You know what yellow is? Mahama Kambu. My brother, Mahama Kambu. Not an ambulance, not a school bus. They took him to the hospital where he was pronounced dead on arrival. Cal Point Senior High School in Tamale. Our own Achimota school here. My brother, a student had malaria. We were told he was shivering and vomiting. Parents were told, they rushed to the school to come and take the student to the hospital. Senior housemaster said, oh no, please, he's under control. We have given him medicine. Only for the case to worsen, and the student ended up dying. Several years back, that's about 6, 7, 8 years back. It's now that they have been able to settle the issue. Achimota School has been blamed for this, and judgment has been awarded, in fact, to the family of the deceased. But it's been years now. The innocent boy is gone. The senior housemaster, we are told by reports that he was not even remorseful. He got to the court and was still arguing his case, how he was right. He didn't care about the death of this child. Every girls, it happened. What is happening to us? Look at how violently this one has been killed. Many more violent cases are going to come up. The schools are ill-equipped. The bone shakers are not working. There's no fuel in them. Oh my God. My God. The innocent boy is gone. His father wept so terribly. He said, if you read this story further, that the school authorities never even called him to tell him that, oh, Charlie, something happened. We need you. The police did not call him. The police hasn't gotten in contact with the father. Nobody got in contact with the family. It took bystanders to call the father and tell the father, your son has been stabbed. And students are rushing him to the hospital. Before he arrived there, driving all the way from the motorway, the little Borkete Saki was gone. If you are a father, my brother, you will feel it more.
Eti abusa we ene nsema Black Rasta ababeka edi afa nsem bi sei ehun wo kire mu sei enema bi wono ma ekoso e wo Ghana ha no ma eni etan enti nke wo se yejai na chese kofa asumdue eba won so comment e wo sansem we hu no na adi amame e comment section as no a share video no e de ama wo no subscribe to Khemical TV nso a e ya na wa subscribe me din e na na adwabe ne wa na make am for eye hibiscus brew e de amount eye so bolo wanwa so bi e de tea house e de abaga na ha no mu sei na sa so bolo no ma asiesie ni padua no ema ni padua no eye kama enie sei na etie bottle no sei ya enetie na ahwesi bi a chese omo aye no no aye hu ya no say yes so bolo de natural bi e wo mu bia enye flavor bia debi it is the hian so obeje wo de say wo ye birthday party engagement wedding anasa ye na wo pe bi kra e de aseve wa wo wo fie wo si ane vacation grofo ya be fie enti na wo si menya kakra de ma me ma no oh kama na wa to bi de gu fridge na nso no man worry say bia baby a wona kwan wa wo hye bia se na say debi unya fra wo mo number no e the screen so no na wo ka kire wo 7 wo ha me pe bia delivery baby no e de abro ogu ho no mo se mi pe bia tu ogu mi stores hu aton se de be ya me nso no menya me kakra wa wo ho we ne bo nya din bia e bia hu ni se ya ye ni se no ne bo edin da bi ebo no kitu e bi fisi enim se de sisi o man hu etie enti na wo fra wo mo na wo pe bi nso atu aton a omo be boa kwan bi a be fa so abenya bi de ye be ma won sa aka bi ama won so watu aton enti de hia so kwa kwaje wo de na kire se wo de ya chele kakra me so me chele me de wa he ya Come. Ameza no ba kunkan. Abowa, me chele me dia wa ha. Etika ho ne kokwaje wo de we ye hibiscus brew so bolo at the tea house. E de aba machi kwan so de omo tema community 9 eho e na abehu machi kwan e na number ne so na the screen so betimi afre wo mo na achese wo no mo di nkomo e de afasa so bolo eho.
Khemical TV, yeah. Khemical TV, anything goes. Khemical TV, for quality entertainment. Khemical TV, at the room. Khemical TV.